So WikiProjects, you can find them on the main page. They're listed, and on the community portal and many other places as well. So there's ways to find them. And how do they work? How do they look like? So let's have a quick look at the WikiProject Every Politician, which is a sort of like an average one. They have some scope defined in the start, like what are we doing here? Very common is to have something like a data model that you're working with, some properties that are important to the project. Sometimes there's like item types and how they relate to each other defined. Here they have some progress indicators, some good tools that you can use for it, some stats, what's happening. And in this project, they have a lot of stats. Then very common is that you have a list of participants and a few other things. And sometimes these pages, there are sort of like a bunch of tabs. Sometimes there's just one page like this, even though I suspect this sort of like is a couple of sub-pages that are transcluded into one. So that's how they look like and how they work. But there's a couple of problems. Like Wikidata is huge, so it's hard to monitor changes. Like it's order of magnitudes larger than any Wikipedia. And WikiProjects are sort of like almost invisible when you're on an item editing, even though I just said you find a list from several pages. So while you're at editing, you might not see the WikiProject at all. And then, of course, and this is also the same for all the Wikimedia projects, it's like built on top of the software. We're holding this together with templates, modules, and bots, and trying to do the best that we can. But what if WikiProjects would be more built into the software and supporting us more in our work? I have some ideas I will share with you. So I'll group these in discovery, communication, and workflow. So you can't use what you don't know. So you might have seen, if you're signed up to a Wikipedia project lately, that you get asked a couple of questions as a new user. You can select interests, like topics. What if on Wikidata instead, we had WikiProjects that you could sign up on? Like, oh, these are the ones I want to be. You just a few click, and when you click done, you get signed up to the project and easily get your way in. And when I say newcomers here, I don't only mean new users creating their account on Wikidata, also mean Wikipedians or other projects coming to Wikidata, so they get drawn into our community and not get to feel like, oh, they're an outsider. Then I think we could do something more on the main page. Like we have a link there, but it's disappearing among all other links. What if we had like a featured article on Wikipedia, or like main spot on the main page, but that would be a featured project. And then we make this automated list that changes these, and we have these curated feeds. So we have a rotation. Not only would a specific project be seen more often, but it will also be a very strong signal for anyone coming to the main page, like this is how we work here. WikiProject is a main feature of how we do things. It will be a very strong signal. And then you might also see there's something called community updates from the growth team at Wikimedia Foundation, where the community have a little page that comes up on this newcomer homepage. They can define. So I'm just going to show that. So this in the top right corner is totally defined by the community. And some people use this for events. Some use this for the weekly collaboration. Some use that for the competitions going on. I think we could use this for WikiProjects and either also rotate this with some sort of schedule, or we could have something like how the central notice work, that you sort of like, oh, we have a message we want to get out, and we negotiate on showing things there. And then we have a couple of properties connected to WikiProjects. We have this on focus list and maintained by. today they are just like in the middle of all the other things. So if you come to a well-developed item, it might be several screen scrolls down before you see it. I think we could lift this up, show it in a different way, maybe even make it sticky so it's always on the side when you're editing, so that you always know that, oh, I don't know exactly how to do this. Here is where I go to get help. And also a little bit of a reminder like, oh, people are caring about this item, so I cannot edit it willy-nilly because I might break something. When it comes to communication, there's so much more to do. But we have this great template called Ping Project. There's just a problem that if the project grows too large, it doesn't work. I think it works out up to 50 members, and then it stops. And that's probably something in the backend with the API or the Lua module. But we need to fix this, because a way to rally a lot of people with knowledge and interest in something might be a great way to draw attention to something. So get a notification in the echo box there. That's really a need that we have. And then with all the items that are connected to a wiki project, it can be thousands, hundreds, thousands. I think some are in the millions, like the sum of all paintings. It's almost impossible to have them all on your talk page or your watch list. And if you do, that will be so much it will be very hard to see it. What if I had a way to like sign up, like, oh, give me all the talk page messages for this project in a feed? In the best of the worlds, you could actually read it. But if it's just we collect the things into an RSS feed, that would be great too. It might be possible to do that with recent changes, filters, but I don't think we're quite there yet. And of course, what if we could have chats on Wiki and actually talk there? Right now, there's a lot of discussion going on Telegramming groups, sometimes in Discord and other places. It would be great to have it on Wiki. I don't think this will happen soon, but I mean, a user can dream. When it comes to workflow, one of the big problems is actually connecting items to wiki projects to get them into the workflow even. They're loosely hanging, maybe as orphans kind of thing. But what if we, similarly to the property suggestions, had something saying, oh, you just added item instance of equals law. Maybe this should be connected to WikiProject law, or you added occupation politician. Maybe this should go to WikiProject politicians, so that you really get help in suggesting or adding things to the wiki projects. Yeah. And then in the recent changes, I was talking about maybe we could use this for talk pages, but we really don't have a way right now to filter for wiki projects. We can filter for tags, but if wiki projects was sort of like a native thing, then this could be possible. Right now, maybe we could do tags for all the wiki projects somehow, and be some sort of way to get it shown. But just getting that sort of like that slice of what's happening to see just what's relevant to our wiki project, I think that would be a great thing. And then we have three great sort of connected concepts. We have the model items, we have showcase items, and entity schemas, all sort of like showing the best way to model a thing, a concept. And I think these are have so high potential. I think a wiki project sort of almost should be nagged by the software, like you need one of these or maybe several of them. And then when you're editing something like that, if you're editing an item that has a connected model item, that should sort of like guide you in the editing, and you shouldn't need a user script to call that up. That should like be there by default for everybody, so that you really have a difficult time doing things wrong. It should just be correct by default. And I think we could almost go so far as have some sort of warnings for certain types of edits that are related to a wiki project. Like if you're changing the instance of or the subclass, you get this like, oh, it looks like you're changing this music album to be a song. If you're not sure this is correct, here's the data model of wiki project music. And I think we can do this with simple rules and setups. We don't need AI or a Clippy. It could just be a simple thing that asks this. Even if like you're trying to remove a wiki project, like, hey, or essentially doing that. Maybe you should get a warning for that first. And then I think it's good to have some better statistics. Right now we have the great integrality, and we have the Wikidata lists with the Listeria bot. They're really good, but you need to set them up yourself. We could have some support and maybe even more automated. Maybe it shouldn't be runs by a bot, but maybe like live updating somehow. I think that would be so nice. On the good things, work are being done. WikiProject is in the Wikidata development plan, and currently they're working on increasing the visibility of WikiProject, which is discovery. Woohoo! So what you can do, you can go give feedback on that talk page and say, oh, we agree with this, or listen to what user Ainali said on this talk. That's really good things. I agree with that. But you might have more ideas, and there is an Etherpad. So please put all your things into Etherpad so we can collect them and build up on this, because this is basically just my trying to think really hard, like, where do I think we can make WikiProjects better? And I'm sure you get inspired or get associations and things that you want to do. So yeah, your ideas. And if you want to contact me, I'm user Ainali on the wiki. And I think we already talked about the slides and the acknowledgements. So I think that's what I had to say. Sorry for having a little bit of broken audio in the middle. I hope I didn't mangle the recordings too much.
Thank you so much. Am I audible? All right. Thank you so much, Jan. That was amazing. No need to apologize for the technical issues. We're having enough of our own, so we'll share the blame on that easy enough. That was really cool. Some very interesting ideas there. I would very much encourage everybody to join in Jan's brain dump there and add anything else they have that they would like to see put together into the Etherpad. Some excellent blue sky thinking then.